Welcome to 2024 LOF Seminar. God bless you. Question number 1.
Thank you so much. I just have one affirmation to what she said. Yesterday, this is the question. Yesterday, my daughter told me about OnlyFans. You are not hearing. Okay, yesterday, my daughter told me about OnlyFans. Oh, yesterday night. Okay. And I said, "Why did you tell me?" She said, "Mommy, because I can tell you anything." That is why I told you about it. And but she now said something. She said, and I asked her, "Why didn't you tell the other person?" She said, "Because he has put too much responsibility on me as a child." And it just got me thinking. And I just want you to please help us as mothers, point where our children can tell us anything.
Praise the Lord. My question is about ment- my name is Elizabeth. So my question has to do with mental health. So I grew up in a dysfunctional home. So even as at this point, I keep having flashbacks, from things that happened while I was growing up. So how do I get out of that?
My name is Yetunde Durodola. Um, I'm a cargo agent. I'm basically into exports. My job is kind of I'm a very busy person, but at the same time, I'm always very deliberate about having time for my children. When it comes to PT, I'm there. When it comes to anything in school, I make sure I leave my job and I go. But these days, I know children are really fast growing. Like I overheard one of my boys just 6 years, 2 days, 3 days ago, and he was asking his brother, "Do you have a crush?" And that one said, "No, I don't have." And I'm like, "How did you understand the meaning of crush in the first place?" So ashamed of myself. I don't even know how to sit a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old boy to start. I don't even know where to start. That's number one. Number two, I want to ask, what is the proper time for us to get a mobile phone for my son, the 10-year, because the 6 years old is even out of it, the 10-year-old, he will be 11 in the next few months. So we need, I think he's always talking about mobile phone. Mommy, I need a mobile phone. So when is the right time for him to have a mobile phone? When I'm out, I need to call them. I need to know where they are at every given time. What are you doing at home? Have you eaten? Have you taken care of your brother? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'll start from. I think I want to appreciate all everybody that came out. Please let's appreciate them as well because I strongly believe. Hello. I strongly believe that my career started from this story. Hello. I had a seat partner in SS3 and he was so quiet. There are some people that you know that their quietness is based on a condition, like they're not naturally quiet. And at that age, I could pick it up. And I said, KP, you're not quiet. What is going on? Said, don't worry. One day he said, my dad beats my mom. And when I am at home, I can get her out and put her in a taxi so that she can leave. But now that we're in boarding school, who would help her when he's beating her? KP had ulcer and died after WAEC. And if we know ulcer, we know that it was an emotionally triggered ulcer. We cannot control sometimes, and please, if you are single, you're not yet married. Marriage is a thing of the spirit, and you have to be intentional. If there is any red flag like abuse, auntie, don't say, oh, I'm 30 something. Please. The effect on children is mind blowing. The cases I deal with, I know a girl during NYC. D is one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen. And one thing about her was like I knew 3 guys in our building that was sleeping with her. And one day I got to talk to her and I said, I couldn't tell her, but one day she was just talking and she said her dad used to beat her mom. One day, her mom forgot to pack egg in their lunchbox. She now lied for her mom because she knew her dad would finish her mom. That, oh, no, she packed it only for her mom to start running to bring the egg to them. That day, the father beat her and her mother together. The mom also died. But Decca does not know the thing called self-worth. She never heard you're beautiful at home. She never heard you're good. She never heard anything positive at home. So any man that says one positive thing, she will do anything to retain that positivity. She gave her life to Christ. She's a mom now. And I just want to thank God. Parents, sometimes if we're already in an abuse situation, it is important you protect your children from that abuse. Sometimes we're already in that situation, but get help. Get help. And if you see that this partner wants to start conflict, protect your children. Don't let them see it. But more importantly, get help for yourself, because if you die in that situation, your children are triggered for life. A lot of boys are beaters. Look at this generation, men beating women like nothing because they watch their fathers do it. Women accepting men beating them because their mothers didn't. And guess what? This generation of women don't want to marry. They're looking for sperm donors because they don't want to be in a trapped marriage. Many women, sperm banks are everywhere because women want to make their money, have a child, and they don't want a man because of bad marriages. I pray that God will help us. Speaking on victims of environment, the truth is this thing. See, there's a young girl, a case that we saw, and this girl was 4. They caught her with one boy, and the things they were doing, they were as bad as sucking pennies and things as raw 4-year-old. And then they called the parents, Christian parents, spirit-filled parents. They said, no, there's no access. This girl does not go out, blah, blah, blah. The girl eventually spoke. They are managing, so they all sleep in the same room. When mommy and daddy think this girl is sleeping, they are having sex, and this girl will wake up and be watching. And then she got to school and started, performing miracles. Parents, please, even if that child is sleeping, once that child is approaching 2, if whatever you need to do, get out of the situation, do it and come back. Are we together? Then the truth is, in fact, I was in the market in January and I saw 2 children, and the boy was saying, like, a guy and a girl entered the room, and these small children, they looked so tiny. I'm thinking 5 thereabout. They're like, because maybe that's their older brother taking a girl into the room. And then these small children are like, they now run to the door to go and peep to see what is happening. The moment you have the means, that environment is key. There's no joke. Environment is key. As much as you want to protect, that influence circle is major. The moment you have something, get your children out of that situation. Get them out of that thing. Because unfortunately, there's almost no dialogue about that. Then parents, prepare to speak on sex in age-appropriate languages. Once that child is 2, you tell the child, this part of your body is private. Your vagina is private. Your bum bum is private. If any man touches you or any woman touches you, because the same sex abuse going on will shock you. So if your child, and trust me, children are innocent. If somebody touches, my son ran one day, my auntie beat my bum bum. My auntie. I said, all right. I understood the way she beat his bum bum, but I was happy that he understood. A lot of children could have been saved from abuse if they knew that if somebody tampers with their private part, they should speak to mommy. And if you raise your children to report things like that and you continue, they will continue to talk to you. When you pick your children from school, when they enter the car, how are you? Fine. And you guys are driving home. No. So what happened? Who did this? During open days, when teachers, you go and see the teacher, all we care about is what did he score in math? What did he score in English? Are we asking about their social life? Does he have friends? A lot of children are bullied. And teachers can tell you that this child is quiet in class. Somebody annoys this child, and you can follow up. Let's not just follow up on academics. I pray that God will help us. Yes, I have a sex education for parents course on Udemy, but out of goodwill, out of goodwill, I will make that course free for everybody here. I'll find a way to get the link across because we need to know. Then please, madam, 10-year-old phones, no. And something about screens, have timetable for screens. I always say, do not let any child under 16 go to bed with a screen around them. Because let me tell you, pornography now. A mom called that she said she walked in on a 7-year-old watching porn. I went to visit a family, and as we were there, these children that was COVID period. The children were on the internet. They had their classes on the internet, and they were like, what's up with this fucking teacher now? What the fuck is this? Guys, there's one site I found. I'll send you the link. These children know porn from as early as 6, 7. Do not let any child have a phone and I know that a lot of us will say, oh, growing up, I did not have money. Now that I have money, I'll put TV in my child's bedroom. No. Because the truth is, these children, they are curious. They want to know. It's in their nature. Because even when we were in their time, imagine if we had internet. They are finding things out. In fact, if you check online, one of the most soft questions is how to have sex, how to kiss. If you give a child a phone to take till the next day, you are giving them opportunity. And people say, no, I trust my child. I would say that's a wicked thing to do. You can't trust someone who is not developed appropriately for something as powerful as information on their palms. In those days, when you want to watch porn, you go to a cyber cafe, of which if somebody catches you, they will beat you. But now, all you need to do is surf online and you'll find it. So I pray that God helps us in Jesus' name.
Amen. When your husband doesn't buy you gifts as a wife, and you have complained many times, what do you do? When you buy for him, he will take. Then, another question. You mentioned that man was not created to live in isolation. Can your spouse fill this space? Because I don't see the need to have friends. And I'm comfortable like this. Am I safe?
So thank you everyone who asked questions. It really was vulnerable for you to share your thoughts. So to the lady who asked if raised in a dysfunctional home and then she has flashbacks and is still impacting her, what can she do? First, I want to start by letting you know that the things that happened in your past, in your childhood that traumatized you, were not your responsibility. And again, it's important because this is key to healing. Many a times, because of the way childhood trauma and dysfunctionality in homes is being said, it even disconnects people from their parents and those adults in their lives. You need to know that those people who raised you, your parents, the adults in your life, were actually doing the best they knew how to do with the resources that were available to them. Because nobody in the purest of states who knows better will choose evil. And one thing we've also found out is that some of these parents who raised people in dysfunctional homes are actually victims themselves, who were also raised in disempowered homes and did not know any better. Right? So that helps you to make peace that it's not about you, it's just because they didn't have the skills. If they had the skills, they would have done better. And so if you're having flashbacks, it means that there's still some residual of that pain and trauma in your body. So you need to heal. You need to confront it. You need really to channel energy to those areas of your body. So healing is not only spiritual, is not only mind, it is also bodily. For example, if you're having flashbacks, you want to learn how to breathe intentionally such that you can channel your breathing to those memories. I like to say to people, confronting the memories of pain is difficult. Many people bury it under the carpet, repress it, or don't want to visit it because it brings up pains and memories that you would rather forget. But I tell you that it's like a firefighter. If somebody is trapped in a room that there is fire, you know that if the firefighter opens the door and oxygen enters the room, what will happen? The fire will increase. But if the firefighter says, I will not open this door so that the fire will not increase, the person will die in the fire. So he has to take the courage to open the door and introduce that fire momentarily so as to save the person. That's what I say. So I acknowledge that the pain of sitting with the trauma will be tough, but that's the only way out. You just have to be at that place where you can ground yourself to visit it. And I dare say that if looking at you, you're an adult, and these things have happened in the past, and you still have flashbacks, it's almost showing that on your own, you lack the adequate resources to deal with it. So you need a therapist. You need to work with a therapist who will use professional tools to help you address it. Because if it has stayed this long, it has really, now not to scare you, but it has almost succeeded in rewiring your brain. It has almost succeeded in, and I want to be vulnerable to also point out some things, not because I want to put the lady on the spot, but I need you to understand that trauma also impacts your posture and how you show up physically. So, me seeing the lady who asked the question, you can vividly see the evidence of trauma in her because her physiology, her stance is a stance of weakness, it's not a posture of confidence. So you even know markers of trauma by looking at the person. Somebody who is dealing with childhood trauma will typically be walking with their shoulders this way, their eyes forever on the floor, not having the power. You'll be saying, do eye contact. They can't because there's something that is limiting that. So my answer to that is for it to have lasted this long, you need professional help. So you need therapy. And if it's something you want to venture into, please contact me and then we'll talk about it. Then the second question talked about your husband not giving gifts, even though you have mentioned it a couple of times. But then when you give the husband gifts, he accepts. Let me start with this. The first person, and I like to always be very factual. And again, just so that it's not misconstrued, I am not saying that a partner gifting another partner is not right. However, the first person who can love you and love you right is yourself. Many times when we teach love language, we always teach it projecting to the other person. Your love language, the first person who should speak your love language to you is yourself. So first of all, flatter yourself with the gifts and ensure that your reservoir of love is filled. That's one. Secondly, you will have to know that you cannot expect a person to use a skill that they have not sufficiently mastered. Let me tell you, people cannot give what they do not have. Right? And I appreciate the fact that you have been telling your partner about this language and the partner maybe is not getting it. I want you to take a back seat and even look at that partner. Where is that? Your partner himself, how much has he gifted himself and loved himself? Remember, I'm not saying that your request is out of place. I'm saying that sometimes when we have more background information, we can come from a place of empathy. Imagine a man who has never understood love. and you are asking him to love you. It's like asking him to use right hand when he has been using left hand. So does that mean that your need for gifts is out of place? No. It just means that do not keep your love tank empty, waiting for another person to fill it. Fill up your love tank by yourself, number one. Then, number two, when you are making the requests for this gift, how are you making the requests? Every human being who is blamed, who is criticized, who feels questioned will naturally retaliate, will naturally want to defend themselves. So you want to go back to yourself. How have I been making this request? Have I been making it in an empathetic way? Or have I been making it? You cannot buy gifts. Every time I talk about gifts, you never, the person will now come and carry me to buy the gifts. Abby? So manner of approach is also very important. Then number three, who is your husband and who are the people in his life? I always say to people, if you marry somebody who does not have anybody that can call them to order, you have set yourself up for disaster. So who is the authority in your partner's life? Every marriage, so long as you are below 10 years, you have no business being in marriage without having a marriage mentor. Somebody who is more experienced with you than you, somebody you trust, somebody you can talk to about the things that are happening in your marriage, and they can speak to your husband, and your husband listens, and speak to the wives, and the wife listens. So, three things. Don't wait for him to fill your love tank. As much as you can, gift yourself. Secondly, ensure that you are making the request honorably and with good attitude. And thirdly, bring it up with your marriage mentors or somebody of authority that your husband will listen to, because sometimes they need someone outside of you to bring their consciousness to the importance of your request. Number three. Okay, so someone asked a question about relationships and if a partner can meet that relationship. It's important to know that your partner, yes, you should have a relationship with your partner, but your partner shouldn't be the only connection that you have. Because there are times that your partner is himself down. There are times that your partner is in himself needs some support. So what happens when both of you are down and you don't have any support? That's one. Secondly, the kind of relationship benefits that you get from spousal relationship is not the kind of relationship benefits that you get from friendship. They are on two different pedestals, right? So I was sharing with someone, October last year, my elder sister turned 50 and we had a girls' vacation. I have done vacation with my family, but I have never enjoyed the vacation as the one I enjoyed with my sisters. Because in the vacation with family, you'll be looking for child to give food, husband to shine Congo, this person to do that. But in sisters' vacation, whether you like sleep till wake up till 12 noon, nobody is disturbing you. So the enjoyment is on another level. There are some gist you can gist with your girlfriend that you can't gist with your husband, not because you are keeping secret, but the gist will not enter. Abi? Yes. So that means exactly. So that means we need all forms of friendship. By all means, be friends with your husband, but your husband cannot meet all your friendship needs because there are needs from female friendship that, okay, say for example, I came here and I was telling you about perimenopausal signs. I was telling my husband, typical example. So we had a party on Tuesday, family live industry night, and I was dancing as if I did not know my age. So by the time we got home, my knee was paining me. So I told him, man, oh, my knee is paining me. And he's like, you know, you are getting old. Maybe you need physiotherapy. I just looked at him, you and who is getting old. But imagine I was telling my friend and we'll be like, this perimenopausal, the sign said, should be tomorrow. The level, he cannot connect with what I am going through because he doesn't understand it. It doesn't mean that he's insensitive. It doesn't mean he doesn't love me, but he cannot connect on that level because what I'm saying is strange to him. So how do I connect on that level with him? So friendship is important in all cadre. And even in the relationship, it boils down to your professional relationships. Whilst everybody at your workplace does not have to be your friend, but you must use the skills of friendship in your workplace to remain cordial with your colleagues because you even need professional relationships for your well-being. Otherwise, they will use office politics and show you shege. Your eye will open.
Okay. We have plenty questions here. So I will just read the questions, but they may not be answered now. We'll find a way of getting the answers across to all of us. So make sure you register and you put your details. So whether you get it through email or through WhatsApp, just make sure you put your details there. These questions, many of them, even me, it is well. Just hear the questions. We're not going to answer them. So, Chidima, sex is every day. Like if it is 1 week, I will have sex. I will be feeling pains. That means, I think this person wants to know what you can tell us. No, she says if she stays away for 1 week, I guess. I don't understand this question. So maybe you come and tell us later what you really mean. Read it again.
Sex is every day. Like if it is 1 week, I will have sex. I will be feeling pains in my vagina. So are we saying you're having sex for 1 week and you're feeling pains? Or if you stay away from sex for a week, you are feeling pains? So it's not clear.
The question is not clear. So please see us later and let us know. Secondly, due to economic demands, how do we manage not getting enough sleep of 8 hours? Is lack of good sleep a premenopausal symptom? Madam, you said women in wrong marriages should protect their children from it. How? Also, how will the women get help? God hates divorce. In some churches, if you are divorced, you can't be more than a member. What will this person do? Please, what can be done in a case where the teacher who teaches children in primary school answers to the questions both during class assessments and examinations? The children rely on this practice and it tells on them later in life. On parenting, Mrs. Makonjola, please dictate your social media details. I guess we'll get all of that in the course of. Then thanks for the speech, Mrs. Okpeyemi. Please, my question is, in a situation where the husband is not giving money at all to feed the family, and the woman has to do a lot of work to feed the family, she will work from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. What can she do? Another question. My son keeps saying he is bored. He's 7 years old in June. How can we engage him? And finally, I want to make good children, but I am stuck in between a husband that sleeps with married colleagues, even though we are Christians. I am confused because I want to make good children, but I am tired. Let's put our hands together. Thank you so much for all the questions, very quality questions. This has given a lot of us access to begin to think better and to not be too superficial. Can we give a round of applause to our panelists? Thank you all.
Welcome to 2024 LOF Seminar. God bless.
God is on your case. Children of God, this place is a clinic. Today, there is healing in the house. There's healing in the house. You can be all. They say, can you have it all? I say yes. It might not be at the same time, but I will keep having it. And the ones I have, I will not lose because I keep them in the hand.
Known to the person calling you useless, they were actually giving you a compliment because they were saying to you that you are using less of your potential.
Time, access, evidence, and affirmation. Children need your time, but their time you need to regulate.